Ever since the beginning of the Logan Paul Pokemon boom that began right after the pandemic hit the US and continued into early 2022, people have been talking about Pokemon cards as an investment. As someone that has been playing and collecting cards since the beginning in 1998, I thought I would throw my 2 cents in on this topic. The current discussion centers around one question. That question being, should I invest in Scarlet and Violet? And the answer, as with most investments, is that if you're asking if you should invest, then it's already too late. And to be honest, even if you wanted to start now, if you're looking purely to invest in an item that is going to increase in value exponentially the longer you hold on to it, then no. Do not try to invest in Scarlet and Violet. One of the biggest reasons is that the Pokemon Company literally bought the printing press. They can print as much product as they want to. They can print to demand, if not more. And it looks like that's what they're going to do with Scarlet and Violet. Those pre-orders for packs, booster boxes, ETBs, those all went up months ago. And they never sold out. Scarlet and Violet has already had their pre-release. Those products are still available online, meaning that Pokemon's going to get the numbers and they're going to print to demand. They're going to print as much Scarlet and Violet as people want to buy. It's not like those early days of the Pokemon boom where the Pokemon Company couldn't keep up with the demand, where you were having to show up at 3 a.m. to Target or Walmart just to get a shot at, a Fusion Strike ETB. Now, there's kind of two sides arguing about this topic of investing in Pokemon. One side is going, Evolving Skies is such a popular set. It's got cards that people really want out of it. There's a lot of cards in the set. For people that want master sets, they're going to have to open a lot of product. It's a good investment. Booster boxes are already almost up to $400, and we're very early into Scarlet and Violet, and that doesn't matter. The value of a product is always going to be what people are willing to pay for it. And when it comes to sealed product, you're either buying it to keep as a sealed product, as a collector's item, or potentially to resell 10 years down the road when it's worth a little bit more, or you're hanging on to it so that you can open now or at a later date. Those are really the two reasons you would be buying sealed product for yourself. When it comes to Evolving Skies, yeah, it's a popular product. It's a great set. But great sets aren't the ones that gain value the fastest. The sets that gain value the fastest are the ones that people don't like. And this is the other way of thinking. The other side of the topic, which is that people should maybe be investing in sets that aren't popular, like Battle Styles. When Battle Styles is on the shelf, it usually sits there for a little bit. Darkness Ablaze. These aren't the most popular sets in Sword and Shield, meaning that people aren't buying them and people aren't going to hold on to them as collector's items or to open at a later date. So 10, 15, 20 years down the road, when people are looking to complete a collection, say, Battle Styles is the only set of ETBs that they're missing out of Sword and Shield block, those are going to be the hardest to find because not a lot of people are going to be selling them. Not a lot of people would have held on to them. And historically, that's what we've seen. Even going back to, like early Gen 3 sets, back to Delta Species, Ruby Sapphire, even into Diamond and Pearl. The sets that have risen in value per booster box the most are the sets that were not good, that did not have a lot of competitively viable cards in them, that didn't have a lot of popular Pokemon in them. Those are the sets that gained value the fastest. Those are the sets that are worth the most now because they're harder to find. Basic laws of supply and demand. The supply is low, the price is going to go up because of that. So if you're looking to invest, if that is what you are deciding to do with these pieces of pretty cardboard with pocket monsters printed on them, then your best bet is to go with sets that are less popular. That is to say, we have no idea. And that is the problem with investing in these types of physical media, is that you never really know. And with the Pokemon Company owning the printing press, they could decide to do a reprint of Evolving Skies tomorrow, and people would buy it. And the price of booster boxes would go down. The prices of the big cards in the set, like Moonbreon, would also go down a little bit, just because more products being open, more singles are on the market, and that's just the way it would go. Now, I don't think there's a high likelihood of the Pokemon reprinting Evolving Skies starting tomorrow, but it's possible. When it comes to Scarlet and Violet, I think it's extremely possible. I think they're going to keep printing that set for a number of years. For as long as the Scarlet and Violet block lasts, I think they'll continue to print base set Scarlet and Violet. It's not going to be a hard set to come by. So, with investing, there's not a real answer anyone can give. There are people that watch the markets. There are people that do this for a living. They buy and resell. They hold on to products for a number of years so that they can resell it to let it appreciate in value. And that's legit. These Scarlet and Violet ETBs, 20 years from now, they probably will be worth more than MSRP. You have to hold on to it for a while. But 5 years from now, you're not going to be able to take a $50 ETB and resell for $100. It's just not going to happen. What we saw during the pandemic was kind of unprecedented, especially for Pokemon, where you had this perfect storm of, big YouTube influencers. People were stuck at home, so they were viewing more of that content. People were looking to invest more in physical, solid items of value because, basically the financial system in America and worldwide was looking pretty shaky. People were pretty uncertain about what was going to happen to their investment. So they were looking to put it into something physical that could increase in value rather than be a liability. The other big part of that was just because people were stuck at home and because the government was handing out free money, they wanted to spend it on something. And adults are of the age that it's hard to afford rent, but you can spend $100 on something that makes you happy because it made you happy when you were 10 years old. And that's where the boom came from. We're past all of that. The Pokemon Company has caught up. They print as much product as they want. The market has been flooded with graded cards, with single cards, with sealed product. If you want to find something, it's out there. And as long as you're willing to pay a price, it will stay at that price. When people stop paying that much for it, the price will go down. And prices have been dropping. When it comes to the Pokemon TCG specifically, my only advice is only invest in something that you like, that you enjoy. If we tilt this up a little bit, you can see I've got ETBs lining the top of the bookshelf up there. I plan on hanging on to those. Not because I have plans to, resell them for 400% increased value in the future. I like having that as an option if I ever need to. But my thinking is I really like the way these look on a shelf. They're nice collector's pieces, just like any other, Pokemon item you see on the shelf back there, whether it's a plushie, whether it's a Burger King figure, whether it's the cards themselves, whether it's the games themselves, whether or not they're minty or not. When you invest in something you enjoy, you're not going to be slapped with regret later on. And I think that's what a lot of people are experiencing right now. During the big boom, they were buying up Charizards, they were buying up Altarts, spending so much money on this product because they thought that it was going to double, triple, quadruple in value the same way a lot of vintage Pokemon stuff did in 2020. But that's not true. We're not in that type of market anymore. People are beyond the Pokemon boom, and a lot of people have been slapped with that regret for investing in something that was not going to hold up. And everyone that had been within the TCG community, Pokemon or not, already knew this. We knew this in 2020. We knew this as the boom continued. We knew that it was a bubble. And I will admit that regret and nostalgia factor into my decision to start hanging on to sealed product, because I have a lot of nostalgia for Delta Species, for the small haul-on block of cards. That is my favorite era of the TCG. That's when I was playing the most. That's when I was in high school. I was playing with my friends. Those memories stick out to me. They are precious memories, and I really wish I could enjoy opening up Delta Species or Holland Phantoms or Dragon Frontiers again, just to relive a little bit of that. And I'm enjoying the TCG where it's at right now. For the most part, there's a lot of problems in the TCG, which I've already talked about in another video, but there's also a lot to enjoy. Cracking packs is always going to be fun, regardless of the era, regardless of the sets. And in the future, I might want to just open some Vivid Voltage. You know, I'm going, oh man, I remember, you know, when this set came out, it was this weird time. It was during the big Pokemon bubble with Logan Paul and all of that nonsense. I'm going to have nostalgia for Sword and Shield block at some point, and I want to have that product on hand to, you know, maybe just hold in my hands and look at the sealed product, or to just crack open. That's what I mean by only invest in things that you're going to enjoy. That way, even if the investment bottoms out, you know, maybe the Pokemon company just screws up real bad and all of their printed cardboard is garbage, it's worthless, you still have something that you're going to enjoy. And that's coming from someone who has giant tubs of Beanie Babies in their attic. I've got so many Beanie Babies, and I don't regret it. I know, like, back in the late 90s, people were buying Beanie Babies as an investment, and that absolutely did not work out. They're basically worthless now. You can go to any flea market, pawn shop, peddler's mall, there's Beanie Babies for $2. But I enjoy them. I like the nostalgia of that time in my life, of one of the very first things I collected, along with Pokemon. And because of that, I don't mind having a bunch of Beanie Babies in my attic. There's no regret there. I like getting them out time to time and looking through them and kind of reliving those experiences. So that's the point of this video. Is, you know, in short, don't try to invest for investing's sake. There's better mediums to do that in. There's a stock exchange. There's gold. There's precious gemstones and minerals and things that are going to appreciate in value way more than these little cardboard rectangles are going to. So spend your money wisely. Invest it in, oh god, this is going to sound really cheesy. Invest it in yourself. Spend that money on things that you're going to enjoy, that are going to bring you some type of meaning or enjoyment later in your life. That way, you know, if you do get 20 years down the road and you want to buy a Sword and Shield base set, ETB, you're not having to pay $100. You've got the one that was $40 at GameStop that you just held on to because you knew a day like that would come. Thanks for watching the channel. Thanks for listening to my rants. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree. If you're a big time investor, then, you know, let me have it down there. It's all information that I like to gather. I like to watch YouTube channels that deal in these circles of talking about the value of products, the value of individual cards and sealed across Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Flesh and Blood, MetaZoo. Like, this is my shit right here. I enjoy talking about it. If you want to hear me talk about it some more, let me know down in the comments. It's definitely something we can add to the channel. Other than that, I look forward to the discussion that everybody's going to be having down there. So I'll be reading that, and I'll see you next video. Bye.